What if the Chosen One story began by telling you that destiny might be a lie? That is the central trick of the Elder Scrolls III: Morrowind. On the surface, it is a familiar fantasy plot. A prisoner arrives in a strange land, discovers an ancient prophecy, gathers legendary weapons, and defeats an evil god beneath a volcano. But Morrowind is more skeptical than that summary suggests. Its real story is about identity. Who gets to define history? Who gets to claim divinity? And whether a person becomes a hero because fate chose them, or because they successfully convince an entire nation to believe it. The game begins in the year 3E427, when an unnamed prisoner is released from imperial custody on the island of Vvardenfell. The Emperor, Uriel Septim VII, has ordered the prisoner's release for reasons that are never fully explained. After arriving in Seydanin, the prisoner is directed to Balmora, where they meet Caius Cosades, a member of the Imperial Blades. Caius gives the story its first objective: investigate the Sixth House, a supposedly extinct Dunmer great house that appears to be returning. Strange cultists are spreading a dangerous disease called Corpus. People known as Sleepers worship a mysterious figure named Dagoth-Ur. And across Vvardenfell, citizens are suffering from nightmares, hallucinations, and violent attacks. At first, this sounds like a standard conspiracy, but the deeper the investigation goes, the more the player discovers that the Sixth House is not simply a new cult. It is the surviving remnant of an ancient betrayal. Long before the events of the game, the Dunmer hero Indoril Nerevar led an alliance against the Dwemer, the subterranean civilization sometimes called the Dwarves. Beneath Red Mountain, the Dwemer discovered the Heart of Lorkhan, a divine artifact connected to the creation of the mortal world. Their leader, Kagranak, created 3 tools, Sunder, Keening, and Wraithguard, to manipulate the heart and use its power. Nerevar and his allies defeated the Dwemer at the Battle of Red Mountain. Afterward, according to the official history, Nerevar died and the Tribunal Vivek, Almalexia, and Sothasil used the heart to become living gods. But one of Nerevar's closest companions, Vorin Dagoth, was left behind to guard the heart and its tools. When Nerevar returned, Dagoth-Ur refused to surrender them. The 2 men fought, and Dagoth was defeated, or at least, that is how the Tribunal's version tells it. But exposure to the heart transformed Dagoth-Ur into something far more dangerous than a mortal. He returned beneath Red Mountain, gathered his followers, and began building a new empire through disease, dreams, and supernatural power. This history explains the game's first major argument. Morrowind is not really about stopping an invasion. It is about reopening a crime scene. The player is told that Dagoth-Ur is the villain, but nearly every faction has a reason to distort the truth. The Imperial government wants stability. The Tribunal Temple wants to preserve its authority. The Great Houses want political advantage. Even the Ashlander tribes preserve their own version of Nerevar's legacy. Then the possibility emerges that the prisoner may be Nerevar reborn, the Nerevarine described in ancient prophecies. The prophecies speak of a reincarnated hero who will unite the tribes, defeat the false gods, and destroy Dagoth-Ur. But Morrowind refuses to make this simple. The player can be any race or gender. They can be a warrior, thief, mage, or something completely absurd. Nothing about the character's appearance proves that they are Nerevar. Instead, the player has to complete the trials. They must find the lost prophecies, earn the trust of the Urshilaku Ashlanders, recover Nerevar's ring, and be recognized by the tribes as the Nerevarine. They must also become Hortator, the war leader of the 3 great houses, Hlalu, Redoran, and Telvanni. This is where the prophecy becomes political. Being the Nerevarine is not just a spiritual claim. It means persuading rival institutions to accept your authority, often through diplomacy, favors, intimidation, or manipulation. That is why the prophecy works so well as a story device. It is not merely predicting the hero, it is creating the conditions under which the hero can exist. The player's transformation continues through the Corpus disease. After being infected, the prisoner seeks help from Devaith Fear, an ancient Telvanni wizard who has studied the disease for centuries. Fear cures the infection, but the experience leaves the protagonist permanently immune to blight and Corpus. On a literal level, this is a necessary step in the plot. Symbolically, it is more important. The future Nerevarine is marked by the same affliction spreading through Dagoth-Ur's followers, but survives it. The hero is not untouched by the corruption of Morrowind.
they pass through it and come out changed. Eventually, the player is brought before Vivek, one of the tribunal gods. Vivek provides Wraithguard, the artifact required to safely wield Sunder and Keening. He also reveals the final truth, Dagoth-Ur's immortality and the tribunal's divinity. Both depend on the heart of Lorkhan. That revelation turns the ending into something more complicated than kill the bad guy. Dagoth-Ur is not simply a demon invading Morrowind. He is using the same source of power that created the tribunal. The difference is not that Dagoth-Ur seeks godhood while the tribunal does not. The difference is that the tribunal successfully built a religion around its theft, while Dagoth-Ur openly plans to remake the world. When the Nerevarine enters Red Mountain, Dagoth-Ur offers one last temptation. He claims that he and Nerevar were allies, that he was only following Nerevar's final orders, and that the player should join him. There is even a disturbing sense that Dagoth-Ur does not see the Nerevarine as a stranger. He sees an old friend returning from the dead, but the player rejects him. After defeating Dagoth-Ur, they discover that he cannot truly die while the heart remains intact. The Nerevarine must travel deeper into the mountain, find the heart, and strike it with Sunder and Keening while protected by Wraithguard, destroying or, more precisely, severing the heart's connection to the living god strips Dagoth-Ur of his power. His empire collapses, the Blightstorms cease, and the sixth house is broken. The tribunal's divine power is also lost, leaving Vivek and the other tribunal gods mortal once again. A fair counterpoint is that this ending can feel less dramatic than the build-up. Dagoth-Ur is defeated through a mechanical objective, hit the heart with 2 tools. After hours of prophecy, politics, and theological mystery, the climax can seem almost procedural. But that simplicity is the point. The entire story has been built around people claiming ownership of the sacred. Dagoth-Ur claims the heart, the tribunal claims the heart, the empire claims Morrowind. And finally, the Nerevarine breaks the system by refusing to inherit anyone's version of divinity. Azura appears after the victory and acknowledges that the prophecy has been fulfilled. Yet the Nerevarine is also told that the burden of prophecy is gone. That is the final irony. The hero proves they are destined by choosing to act and then escapes destiny by ending the cycle that created it. Morrowind's main story is not really about becoming a god. It is about exposing the cost of pretending to be one. Dagoth-Ur wanted a world remade in his image. The tribunal built a civilization around borrowed power. The Nerevarine wins by taking the heart away from everyone. And once the heart is gone, the prophecy no longer owns the hero. What remains is not a chosen one, but a person standing in the ruins of history, finally free to decide what comes next. For more videos like this, stick around, subscribe, and give the video a like. Thanks for watching. See you next time.